But my favorite part of my proposal is that I put a personalized video into every single one, because if you can't tell, I love to talk. And so by having all that structure around like the nitty gritty that never changes, I can be creative and have fun recording the video. And that's what I want to spend my time doing, not telling somebody how they can pay me.
It's season 7 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat with Anna and Selena. Selena is the owner of Howley Socially Inspired. She's our Hawaiian rock star who loves all things tech and says coffee is her love language. Anna owns No Mad About. She's the adventure-seeking copywriter who loves a good road trip and has a passion for supporting military spouses and entrepreneurs. Join Anna and Selena weekly to listen in on hot topics that will build your brand, keep you current with best practices, and help you grow as a business owner or entrepreneur.
Aloha, everybody. Okay, what do you use for customer relationship management, aka CRM? If you don't have a system in place, your clients are not getting your best as a small business owner. Join us today as we talk with guest Elaine Jardon. I'm going to have to ask her, is it Jardon? We'll have to clarify that when she comes back on, of the Jardon Group. It sounds fancy when you say it like that. An expert on creating client systems and customer relationship managers, CRM. Elaine's work with Dubsado has given her insight into building automated systems that don't feel automated. What works best for you as a business owner, and why you are the irreplaceable element in your CRM system during today's 15-ish minute coffee chat.
Yay,
Hi, guys. Hi,
I'm
Anna.
so excited. Hi.
Okay, guys. Anna, tell everybody where you are.
Okay, so if you remember last week, and I was in an airport hotel and I got totally kicked off the internet. So this week I'm actually at my in-laws' home in Carlton, Oregon. And so just this gorgeous little farm out in the middle of nowhere, but part of that out of nowhere means DSL internet service. So I'm going to do my best to stay connected and be part of the conversation. But if for some reason I fall off, please forgive me. And, you know, we do what we can, right?
Right. Yeah. It was decided backstage. If Anna drops out, Elaine, it's just going to be the Elaine and Selena show for the next half hour. Do you know what I mean? So she's pretty funny.
But I know great show.
It is. It is. Okay, Anna, should I tell? No, you tell people. What is our call to action today?
I just dropped it in the ticker below, right?
Yeah.
Our call to action today we're going to be talking about customer relationship managers or management systems or CRMs or client relationship management systems. I mean, there's all these different terms for it, but they're kind of CRM-ish. So we want to know, for anyone who's listening right now, what do you currently use for your CRM? What do you use to keep track of your customers, to bring in the leads, to follow your path to successfully converting them into a sale for you? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to know what it is that you're currently using. I can tell them that right now I am using Dubsado, which is Elaine's specialty.
Same here.
Right?
Same here. In fact, I mean, which is how I got to know Elaine was she helped me when I realized that I was not doing what I needed to be doing. I was working so much harder than I needed to. And no joke, Elaine came in and I think I sent her like an email the next week that says, oh my God, I just finally used your system. And I sent the proposal and I got a contract signed and I got an invoice paid and I didn't have to do anything. And then that all happened in minutes. But and I joked, I think there was my life before Elaine and after Elaine. And I love my after Elaine life. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I love your after Elaine life. I benefited from Elaine coming into your life. So, I mean, she inspired me, right?
Yes. Everybody can. Okay, look, this is who we're talking about. And Anna, do you want to read it? Do you want me to read it? Because I think
I'll read it. While I'm here, I'm going to do it. All right. So Elaine Jardon is a former teacher turned Dubsado specialist who wants to be Leslie Knope when she grows up, which instantly makes me adore her. Her goal is to create seamless client experiences her clients can implement without breaking a sweat. She'll happily chat about anything but sports ball, video games, and dressing for your body type, whatever that means. So clearly she's got a great sense of humor, and I'm excited to bring her onto the show, right?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm just gonna you want me to bring her up? Are you still there? Because that's usually what you do, Anna.
I'm here and I bring her on.
there is the queen herself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk with both of you.
Hey, we totally are. Yes, Jennifer, she uses HoneyBook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Elaine is like, hey, as long as you're using one, that is all I care about, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? I have a good friend that is a HoneyBook educator, and she tried Dubsado, and she's like, it wasn't her jam, and I'm like, but you just got to have one, which is why we're having this conversation with Elaine today. Okay, first off, let's do a coffee cup selfie before we get like really excited, because no pressure. I've said today Elaine is very funny, which is why she caught my attention. And it could, I'll get lost in all these funny Elaine things that may happen today. So, okay. 1, 2.
All right. So wait.
There, Anna?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
I'm
Okay,
here now. Yeah.
Yes,
Wait.
I love that mug. On 3, 1, 2, 3. You are. Totally are. Okay. Okay, now we can get into the real questions. And so, Anna, let's do it. Let's start let's start it. Let's just dive right in.
Okay. Well, so our very first question is kind of like, let's take it back to the basics. So Elaine, can you just tell everyone, what is a CRM? What is a customer relationship manager?
Yes. So a CRM is just that holding spot for the client information. So things like contracts, invoices, you can track your leads in there. You can track your conversion rates, just really anything that's tied specifically to the client. So I see in the chat, people are mentioning HoneyBook, HubSpot, Salesforce. Those are all great examples of CRMs. And the one that I specialize in is Dubsado.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So you guys, wait, Elaine, people have said Excel spreadsheets could also be a CRM. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's better than nothing, right? But I think part of the beauty of the CRM is that then you can leverage some automation to help improve your quality of life. So can you get it done with an Excel sheet? I would rather you have an Excel sheet than just your email inbox or just that wreath of Post-it notes around your monitor, right? Yes. Excel is better, but we can improve that, because eventually, like, I remember the first time somebody bought from me just off my email list. And the reason they were able to do that is because there was a link in the email that they could click to approve a proposal, sign a contract, and pay an invoice for me without me doing anything. Like the first time that we were live with each other was on a call to kick off their project. And that just felt so much better than like, does anybody else have that one notebook? It felt better than me flipping through that one notebook.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love my notebook. Don't make me get rid of my notebook.
I won't. I mean, I still use mine because people are like, you should be fully automated. Like you use Dubsado. I mean, but that one notebook is always going to have a special place.
Yeah. That's the backup. Look, let's be real. Sometimes the internet may go down and you just want to be able to know how to hand jam something, right? So, okay. All right.
Absolutely.
I love that you said that. Anna, any questions to that before we shuffle over to the next one that I'm really excited to talk about?
I don't really have any questions. What I love about what Elaine said though is like it does a whole bunch of different things. It's not just about your customer like keeping their contact information. It's that thing that takes them through your sales process as a small business. And so I think that sometimes people think, well, I have my contact address book, or I have that proposal that I tailor to every client and then resend out via email after I PDF it, then they print it and sign it, and I think that today, my hope is that today people realize how expansive the world of the CRM has become and how many things that it can really cover for a small business owner. It really can like encompass everything and make it cuts my time as far as like working with my clients. It cuts it in probably at least half, if not more, in terms of saving time to be able to focus on other things.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I mean, I could sit here and give Elaine so much more love about like how my process has become so effortless now. And it was simple. Anyway, let's go into the second part, because I feel like I'm going to say things that relate to our second question, which is a big part. Yeah. So let's do it, Anna.
Second question is going to really the meat and potatoes, right? Like, so we talk about having a CRM and how important it is and all this other stuff, but really let's get down to the nitty gritty details. So Elaine, tell us, what are 5 things that our CRM is going to improve for a small business owner? I mean, we keep telling people to get one. Now tell us why.
Okay. So the number one thing about having a CRM is I want you to stop doing things that make you wish you were stepping on a Lego instead of doing that thing. Okay. So when we talk about CRMs, a lot of times people want to talk about the client experience. I even talk about the client experience. It's so seamless. It's wonderful. But at the end of the day, in my mind, the most important thing about the CRM is that it makes my experience better as a business owner. And because I'm having a good experience with it, that leaves my creative energy for things that I would rather be doing, like actually working with clients, creating content. I'm not so bogged down in all of those little things or doing things that don't feel authentic to me because I'm like racing around in a million different directions. Like in order to have a CRM, you have to have a process. And kind of like we were talking about earlier, Anna, like just committing to that process for me felt so overwhelming and so monumental to say, because I'm like, I customize everything for everyone. Like it's totally unique. I'm sorry, there's only so many ways to sign a contract. Like there really are. And you just need to pick one. And it's okay to pick one and stick with it and use it. And then, later on, you can always change your mind. But the number one thing, in my opinion, is it makes your experience better as the business owner because you have to commit to a process. Technology is great, but it can't read your mind. So, and that honestly is like the number one thing I do for clients is help them make those decisions about what their process is. Because I've seen now hundreds of different backends of tons of different industries, and so I can say, oh, hey, have you thought about this? Or, I'm getting feedback about that. So that would be the first, number one biggest thing. It makes you actually commit when you don't want to.
That can I just tell you that is so, I didn't even think about it like that on our end, right? I'm just thinking about the user experience per se, but like what you just said is like, and that's what you did for me by helping me understand my CRM, right? Which is I used to like die a little inside when the client would be like, we accept your Canva PDF proposal and now we would love the next steps.
Yes. That's so funny you say that because it's something I talk about a lot is like, are you kind of hoping people don't say yes? Right. Like if you have that feeling, then we need to talk. There's no shame in that game, but I think we've all been there where it's like, oh my gosh, yes, they just accepted it. And now I have to do this, like, I have to make sure I don't forget anything because I'm running to like my Gmail and to my DocuSign and to my Calendly and like all these different things that I have to remember to do. And like, and the CRM can just get it together.
Yes. Right, Anna? I mean,
I was going to say, I think for me, my sticking point was I had one way I was doing things and I knew that way. And I was fairly efficient at just doing it my way. And the process, the learning curve, right, to bring on, for me, it was Dubsado, right? But the learning curve of getting that proposal that I could do a quicker customization and setting up the invoice structure and getting all of that put together, I was like, it's just going to take so much time. That was my sticking point. I was like, I don't have time to spend restructuring my process. I already have something that works. But ultimately, when I finally did it, holy cow, did it make a huge difference in time management for me. Like night and day. Saves me hours from what I had been doing previously and tracks everything for me. And now I don't worry about half the things I worried about before. So yes, absolutely. My process, the customization of Dubsado for me, that process has made my business more enjoyable for me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Good. That's the ideal. And you're right that it's such an investment of time at the beginning because you have to figure out the process. You have to learn the system. It's a lot and it takes a lot of energy. That's something that I've actually really improved in my conversations with clients is like, realistically, it's going to take like X amount of hours or days or whatever to complete this project, but you need to set aside X amount of other hours just to like have downtime, to think and to process, because it's different. It's a big jump. But then later on, it's so much better.
I love that Christina popped in and said the exact same thing I had said, right?
Yes.
It's learning the
So
system.
true.
It's overwhelming. So Christina, I'm telling you from experience, Just do it. Like set the time aside and do it.
Yeah, I think one of the things Elaine told me during our time together was thanks, Jessica, right? It is so very important. Elaine had said, look, take this time now, and in the overall bigger picture, you will save so much time. And I did. We blocked out, I think it was like a day and a half or whichever, and we did it. And it's one of the best things like that we did. Okay, I know we're only number one. Okay,
that's okay.
Number two. Sorry,
okay.
Let's do it.
Number two, and we may end up condensing some of these together. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so number two. This sounds counterintuitive, but automating actually allows you to personalize more. A lot of times when people hear automation, they think, I am now a robot. That sounds weird. And I would say that automating the things that don't actually need your attention allow you to be more creative and open that up. For example, I have a proposal template inside of Dubsado. It has all the details that never change, right? There's a lot of stuff in there that is just consistent. Did you see that?
It was a robot move. You know what I mean?
It was my robot move. I
saw a definite Leslie Knope in there. Leslie Knope is like oozing from you right this moment.
Man, I don't know. Please tell us you all love Parks and Rec and you love Leslie Knope. Okay, sorry. Back to Leslie. Go ahead.
So I have my proposal. It has all the stuff in it that like never changes. But my favorite part of my proposal is that I put a personalized video into every single one, because if you can't tell, I love to talk. And so by having all that structure around like the nitty gritty that never changes, I can be creative and have fun recording the video. And that's what I want to spend my time doing, not telling somebody how they can pay me. So having those automated things in there just really allow me to personalize more. Also, in most CRMs, you can collect information from your client beyond just the basic, like, hey, where do you live? Hey, what's your business name? So I have a question on one of my intake forms that's like, if you had to pick between NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, who do you love more? And so then in my first email that comes out, I put in the appropriate GIF. If you say NSYNC, there's Justin. Bye, buying away, right? And if you say Backstreet, they're there, the cover of the Millennium album. And I can do that because my CRM pulled in that information for me. And I'm like, client gifts, another one. I'm like, hey, do you like things that smell like this, or do you like things that smell like that? Hey, you have this big launch coming up. Let me send you a coffee, whatever. It allows me to do more personalizing because all that doesn't require my energy. Like I can put it somewhere else.
Put your energy in the right place. My gosh, that's genius. With the question. And I will tell you, Anna and I actually just, with our last proposal we just sent out last week, we did our very first personalized video. And we put it in and we were like, and then, but I think you're right. Is like, that can be the personalized part of something that can just stay the same, because why, like you said, why waste the energy? Right.
And if you've ever done the move, I cannot be the only one. I'm looking over here at my second screen because that's where my email is. If you have ever had to go into your sent folder to copy and paste an email, because you're like, I said it better last time. Like I was funnier in this one, whatever. Then like a CRM is for you, because I keep all my best bits just preloaded into these emails. So then I can be like, yep, that's the one they need. So anyway, the automation actually allows you to personalize more.
My God, that's a great tip. I love that. Anna, you and I are going to have to think of some things to do that, do that part. I love that so much right now.
Can I just say, like, I threw up that comment by Jessica, right? It said cat or dog person, right? And I was just thinking, like, not only does it allow you to personalize to get to know your client better, but it lets your client know just another like tiny touch of your personality. Like the fact that you chose NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. And in my head, I went, what? Why not New Kids on the Block? You need a third option in there.
Well, you're so right. I mean, because like if you were to go to my contact page right now, all of the placeholder text is Leslie Knope's information. So like first name, it says Leslie. Last name, it says no. Like the email address is like leslie@pawneeparksandrec.gov or whatever. Because, and you kind of bring me to point number 3. So am I the only person on this planet that offers Dubsado services? No. So why do people want to work with me? Because we have a connection. And I also want people to know Elaine is not my person. Like, I need to run the other way. Like, I want them to know that too. And so throughout my entire Dubsado, my entire CRM experience, you're getting me and my personality through the whole thing. So it's not like this whiplash where like, yeah, we're having a great conversation on Instagram and we move you into my Dubsado, and now all of a sudden I'm really cold and corporate, and because that's not my brand. So that's another big reason for a CRM is like the consistency of like you, because you're the quote unquote secret sauce. Like, people work with you because there's something about you they're attracted to. None of us is offering anything that's like so unique that we're the only option or the only game in town. Right.
Right.
So
I just love that you know the system so well that you are like, hey, I know how to help you optimize the system and use it using what you would want to do. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so good. You guys, can you just make sure you tag us if you are doing something like this in your CRM, like workflow, tag Elaine, you know,
I would love to see it.
Just because I just kind of am curious, or if you implement this after the show, we would just love to know, like, you know, like what you chose to do, because that would be so awesome. Seriously.
Yeah, I know that. I think the creativity, right? The creativity of the people listening. I'd love to hear, like, what is it that you do to let, I'm excited now. I feel like I'm in my head, I'm thinking, all these things, quirky things people want to know about me, right?
Right. Like, one of the things that I have in some of my copies, like, I have 2 little boys. One is going to be exactly like David Rose from Schitt's Creek, if anyone watches that show. He is absolutely that. And my little one is Chip Gaines from Fixer Upper, hands down.
God, I love it.
And so I put that in there, right? I'm like, you know, this is what they're like. And it's so funny to see the responses I get where people are like, well, my kid is like, you know, Willie Geist from Sunday Morning, like that's him, or whoever. So it's just more ways to like, anyway, to make a connection.
I think it personalizes it. So it's memorable for that client that may be getting multiple quotes, right, from other people. And I think, like I said, the way that you and I connected was that personality right there in a Boss Moms Facebook group where there's tons of people throwing you like, hey, this is me, come. But Elaine came in and just how she said it connected to me. And that's personally I like, and I can only imagine when I like went through her whole process, I was like, who reads all the dang emails you get? But I did with hers. She's just so funny.
Thank you. Well, and Selena's telling you the truth because we were on Zoom literally with each other for 3 hours straight. So I could not hide.
Seriously. Okay. What is our next tip? What's our next tip?
Number 4.
Yeah.
In my experience, having a fully functional CRM makes it easier for you to get paid. Which, if you're not interested in getting paid, then you have a hobby and not a business, and you don't need a CRM, right? Like, let's call it out.
Let's be real.
But here's the thing: I do not like chasing invoices. I do not like doing it. It stresses me out. I don't. And so I have an assistant, wink, wink, that sends out all of my, hey, by the way, maybe something happened. We didn't receive your invoice. Let us know if anything's happening. Email. And I love that my assistant, wink, wink, is sending those out on my behalf. So then it's just taken care of. Like, I don't really have to get involved. Unless it's like egregious, which has never happened. So, you know, it just makes it easier for you to get paid because people can do it. Just like click a link, And also the system can watch and say, oh, this is overdue. Like, let me follow up in a way that still sounds like you're talking to a human and all of that. And I don't have to waste my time chasing money. I don't really want to do that.
Your assistant sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
You can make your own assistant inside of a CRM.
Okay. That's going to be my next plan, probably next month. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just change the email signature.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh my gosh. You guys. Yes. Okay. And it helps you also know where all the containers you have available or where someone is in the client. So everyone is clear. Jessica, I'm loving all your comments. Like, they're pretty awesome today. Seriously. Thank you for like joining it today. Okay. Yeah, I love that. And I think that's super. And again, there is this like truth, right? There's this overwhelmed feeling I feel like when you're like, okay, I have to set up something else, but we have to kind of get through that and remember, take a little time throughout the year to really kind of like fine tune your business. And one of them is using this tool, your CRM, and make sure it is optimized, because it just pays off. It really does. And I have to constantly remember that.
I mean, me too. And I'm in CRMs all day. Right. And I still, okay.
Yeah.
So one more thing then is, once you have your CRM up and running, it makes having a wait list easier and more productive. So if you're booking February 2022 right now, and somebody's like, yep, like I'm in, they pay, it's November, what are you supposed to do with them until February? CRM can take care of that, right? So it can watch the project date and just send out these little nuggets every 2 weeks or so. They're like, hey, I'm thinking about you. One thing to think about to help get ready is blah, 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 blah. Hey, here's a quick video about da, 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 da that made me think of you. Here's some inspiration, like on my Pinterest board, like, let me know which ones, do you prefer the ones that look like this or the ones that look like that, depending on what you offer, of course. Because you're having all of those touch points along the way, by the time February hits, like your client is so ready and so excited, and they're not like, who is this again?
Right.
Like,
it's been 3 years.
Right. Or like, she took my money and I haven't heard anything for 3 months. Like, are we still a go? Or like, and it doesn't have to be just the transactional emails, right? Just even those quick, like, hey, what are you working on this week? I'm doing blah, blah, blah. Feels so good. And the CRM can send it versus like your email list, right? Because you could put them in a segment, but it's not going to watch the project date. And if you're in a CRM and it's saying, okay, like a month out, this is what everybody gets, it's just doing all that nurturing and relationship building for you. And that's another reason I love having it all in one place. You can see exactly where they are.
That is my favorite of the day. That is not something that I do right now. And just, I'm thinking through my process and I'm thinking, I need to do that. And it, like you said, it doesn't necessarily have to be totally tied to business or tied to exactly what you're doing for them. It's just that touch point of, I'm here, I'm thinking about you. You're on my radar. We're getting to you. You're important to me, right? Which is what a client wants to feel. I love that.
I'm just making a note to myself, because I think maybe I need to offer a mini workshop on like how to set up your wait list and like nurture your wait list, because a lot of people, like you spend that time building up your business, and then all of a sudden you're overbooked and you're like, I need to be on a wait list. So
I will be the first one to sign up for this workshop. So I hope your word of May turns into I am.
Well, now you're my market research, so it's validated. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Because I'm that, you know what, I never thought about. Yeah, totally. It does create trust and security. And it allows, like, it just lets them know that they picked the right person. And they're fine being on the wait list, right? So dang, that was such good advice. Like,
well, and I think it also lets them get to know you, like we were talking about before. Like, you're able to give them again little pieces of information. Like, I mean, you can be this. You can have the automated emails that are fun, right? Like the one about your boys you were talking about. Could be email that goes out and just be like, had a crazy week, and Chip Gaines over here, and then David Rose over here, and it's been one of those whatevers. But your clients can be like, oh, this girl, I love her.
Yeah, no.
100%.
I already want to be your client now. What's your wait list at? I'm going to sign up so I can get your emails.
Is she not fantastic? Seriously. Is she
not
fantastic?
I appreciate that. Okay, well, we're going to do a wait list workshop. We'll do it probably January, February-ish. Does that sound good? All right.
Cool.
Yeah. We're going to plan on it.
I do want to share something. I mean, we're going to talk about it in the next segment with Elaine's like find Elaine here, but so her and I were having a chit chat backstage, and she's on TikTok for another thing she does, and she went viral, right? And the key thing we talked about was she needs to have a CRM even for that.
I do. I do.
Whatever you do. Oh, it's so crazy. So I don't know. Okay, wait. Before we move on to the find Elaine here, is there anything else you want to offer up to the people that have tuned in today for this conversation? I mean, anything fun, any Leslie Nopish that you want to bestow on the guests? right?
I don't know how much
Yeah.
I have to bestow, but I will say this.
Yeah.
So I'm a former teacher and I taught middle school and high school. If you can't tell, I really thrive in middle school. Really, they're my people. They're no one else's people, right?
Right.
And I taught algebra, right? So it's everyone's favorite grade, everyone's favorite subject, clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly. And I think something that was really difficult for me in transitioning from teaching to the business world is that when I was teaching, like, yes, I showed a lot of my personality with the students, but when I was talking to their parents or the administrators or whatever, I was very much like, I am showing you how professional I am. I am showing you how much I know because I am so serious and professional. You can trust me. And it took me a long time to be like, hey, I can just be me all the time. And there are people out there who are like, no, like stay away from me. And that is fine. But there are a lot more people that are like, I have found you. You are my people. So I would say, don't be afraid to put some and be true to you, right? If you're not goofy, like you don't have to be goofy in your email. Like you can be, or on your CRM, like you can be true to you, but to really like let that shine, even when it feels like it's safer to be more corporate, more like I have a wall between us, because I mean, what are you going to lose? The people that you probably wouldn't have connected with anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and can I just tell you this, like in your CRM, you could actually have like 2 different automations, the goofy automation and the profesh automation.
You could.
And as you get to know someone, you're like, yeah, they definitely fit in the profesh automation. I'm not going to send them emails about my kids or my dog or, you know, my hair. And in this one over here, you know, they want that. And that's what builds that relationship with you. And that's one of the great things about the CRM, right? Like you're not stuck to just one automation, and you don't have to come with it up with it every time you have a client, you know.
Because you know it's going to do it.
I love
add
that.
the workflow.
Yes.
Here they go. Write down the one that they need. I love
Can I tell you a story related to that?
Yeah.
So I had this client that found me on LinkedIn, and I just perceive, this is not true, but like people who come to me from LinkedIn, I'm like, they're probably more like, you know.
Right.
So I'm on a call with this woman who's amazing. I love her. We are friends now, but I hadn't met her before. And I typically try not to take discovery calls when my kids are around, just because it's chaos and like no one really needs to witness that. So anyway, my son was home from school though. He's 4. And so he's sitting on the floor next to me, you know, the call's going great. And then all of a sudden I feel something on my foot. He was licking my toe. That has never happened before or since. But I'm just trying to keep, like, I'm talking to this lady from LinkedIn, like trying to be real, like, like I put on like a nice top, like, and he's just down there, right? And like, had I thought I probably would have put into my like profesh serious automation. But when I was like, I'm so sorry, I just have to tell you like what is going on because I need to address this. She just started dying laughing, and she's like, I am so glad you told me. I love it. So like, it was really awkward, but it worked out. And she's wonderful. And like now we're like glued together, right? Because we went through something. So
okay, so
I mean, we need to change our description. We need to change the description of the show to say that time Elaine's toe got licked, and then just leave it. Right, Anna?
Absolutely. But I do have a follow-up question. Like, in my head, I'm like, I don't see Chip Gaines licking toes, but David Rose would go, ew, right? So which one is it that licked your toe?
David Rose, and he goes, this is his justification. He was like, Mom, I had to do it. You weren't paying attention. He wasn't wrong. It was effective. But I was like, that's just not.
Oh man! Oh gosh, you guys!
Hilarious.
That was hysterical. Okay, look. I mean, I could go on and I could. I don't even know how long we've been talking, but it is exactly what Jessica said. We love having these kind of like very chill conversations with our guests to learn more about how to be better business people. Yeah. So I love that she said that. You know, but you're still learning. But we brought a profession on that is so fantastic, and you learn that people lick toes to get attention, you know?
Can't argue with that logic.
So,
anyone who works from home knows that that's something that just happens, right? We like to pretend we're all professionals sometimes, but no. We've all had a toe licking session at some point. whatever that
All
means
right.
to you.
I don't even know why I didn't, like, when we looked through this over, why I didn't even pop on your website here. Like, I'm like, but Elaine, tell everybody where they can find you, and Anna and I will pop in your link in the chat for people to see.
Okay. So on Facebook, I have a group called Dubsado Made Easy. That is pretty much exactly what that is. It's not a group that has a ton of, I don't like to waste your time. So there's not a lot of fluff in there. It's fun, but the real gold mine is in the guides. So if you do decide to join the group, go into the guides, and there's a bunch of tutorials about how to do different things inside of Dubsado. They're quick, they're digestible. You can find me there. Then, of course, Instagram is just the Jardon Group. It's, again, mostly Dubsado tips there. And if you want to, just reach out and say, hey, like either of those places is perfect. Thank you for dropping my URL there. And then my side project is building Mathy Minds. Is it okay if I talk about this a little bit?
Yes, let's do it. It may not be
totally relevant. Okay.
No, so, it is.
I used to be a math teacher. And what I found was a lot of kids that came to me at those older ages were missing things from like way back when, number one. And then number two, when I had kids, I was like, where do I go to like know what to do about math with my children? Because there's reading everywhere, but like nothing about math. And I didn't really find anything that I loved. So I decided maybe other people aren't finding things they love either. And maybe I need to make that for them. So I started a TikTok just to validate the idea. So I'm building Mathy Minds on there, and it's all easy to implement. And I mean easy, like as easy as turning on a specific Netflix show that I'm recommending to you. Easy tips for building those math skills for kids like ages 3 to 6, so that by the time they come to someone like me in algebra, they're not just like, oh, can I swear on here? Is that allowed?
I mean, let's
maybe they're like, holy banana pants. Like none of this makes sense. Like I want to prevent that. So that's what's going on. I'm also learning how to use TikTok, which is an adventure in and of itself. Eventually I may move Jardon Group over to TikTok.
Yeah.
Seriously, reach out for any math needs. I'm here for you. But yeah, so that's what's going on, like on the side of what's happening with.
Okay, we first of all bring up Moira. Like I gotta tell you, Moira's comment when we first connected on LinkedIn, I was like, are you like really Moira? And we had all these funny, going back and forth. And I, because we did how funny we talked about Schitt's Creek, right? And she's like, yeah. And, I just, every time I see her, I just smile, and she's such a great human, and I love being in her space. Right, Christina? Banana Pants. Well, let's just say this podcast will not have an E on it this time. You know what I mean? Like we normally keep it like very PG. So we laughed the very first time we had like an F-bomb on our show, and Anna's husband came in. He's like, well, you cut that ribbon. Like, you know what I mean? And it was like episode 42 or something like that. So anyway, you guys go find Elaine. It is like, you can just tell she's so fun to just kind of like, her energy is great. It's just, she's so digestible. Do you know what I mean? And go follow her. Go do all the things.
That's a good word. That's a good word. Yes. Christina, who is one of our listeners right now, she was talking about how hard it's overwhelming to like learn the process. And I feel like when you get to know somebody like Elaine, they kind of just give you those little bits and pieces every day to take you through it until you just finally get it. And then it works for you. So yay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Let us know if you forgot. I don't know how you could forget, but this is our toolkit we're going with again. We did it last week's show with Julie Kazmar, but look, SEO, it's like boring, but you need to know how to do it so you can find all the good things. This is how people find Elaine. This is how people find Anna and I, you know what I'm saying? So grab our toolkit. The link is right there. It says annaandselena.com/our resources. Just go head over there.
I'm just going to do that right over here, right now.
Yeah. Oh gosh, thank you. It might be our hyphen resources, but you'll find it. Anna, why don't you tell us your tip from Caitlin?
Yes, our tip from Caitlin today: estimated taxes should be 15 to 25% of your net profits. Net, not gross, net. This is for all you small business owners that need to set aside your taxes to pay at the end of the year, or pay quarterly, which was one of Caitlin's other tips that we had a little bit earlier this year. So
Yeah,
Just keep that in mind as you're looking at your finances. Yeah.
Yep. All right. And then I'll let Anna, this is her part too.
Yeah. Oh, yay. It's my part. So listen, we have an amazing guest that's going to be coming on November 16th, Rachel Carpenter with Military Mom Collective. If you don't know this lady, she's like a master writer, a master editor, and Military Mom Collective is a collection of blogs that are pretty darn cool. And she has made a business out of blogging. And I know that's something that a lot of people are really interested in. And it's a great way to continue to improve your SEO on your website. So tune in next Tuesday when we have Rachel on. We're just going to talk about what you can do with your blog. It doesn't have to just be, a blog.
Well, Elaine's got me thinking too. You could probably write a fantastic blog and incorporate that in a workflow with potential clients, right? Like a link to your favorite posts.
Yes, absolutely.
And now I'm thinking more about this.
I'm not advanced enough to have a blog, but I do link to some of my own Instagram posts, honestly, because I'm like, hey, make sure you know this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So join us next week with Rachel. And then, of course, come and connect with Elaine. We gave you all her information. Yep. Come connect with Selena and I on LinkedIn. You can also find us on our business profiles on Facebook or Instagram. Selena's got a Twitter account. We've got our website, which is by the end of the year, I'm committing us because I keep saying out loud, right? By the end of the year, our website's going to be optimized and awesome.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, you can always go to our resource page and pull down all of our freebies off of there. So you're good to go. Yeah, find us on annaandselena.com. And then our 15-ish minute coffee chat is always on YouTube, or you can check us out on your favorite podcast platform.
Yeah, love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Elaine.
Yes.
Mahalo, Nui Loa, so very much. For coming on today. It was really, truly a very awesome conversation. And I loved how everybody had something to say today. So
I know, I'm inspired to jump into Dubsado and do something fun with it today. I don't know what that is, but it's going to be
She's like, I want to do something. I know. I'm like, I don't have a lot of time today, but I'm like, I don't know. I want to add something,
Do your placeholder text. Do that.
Yeah.
Today.
See, okay. Placeholder text, guys.
That's perfect.
Just do it. Just do it. So, okay, you guys, we will catch you next week. Elaine, thank you again. Anna, safe travels back home to Texas. Elaine, you're invited to go. We can go see Chip Gaines so you can really get the full thing. Texas invite here all the time. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.